Hi, folks. Sorry for the delay getting rolling tonight. DLF, Lone Wonder, good to see both of you. Welcome back. How are we tonight? I'm gonna jump right in since we're starting late, but let's see. As far as Zelda goes, I mean, yeah, I would play the Zelda games. At this point, there's so many of them, and most of them are at least pretty good, and a few of them are genuinely amazing. Yeah, I would play Zelda. Absolutely, I would. Those games are great. Hi, Sauna. Hi, Tara. How are you? It's good to see you. Welcome back. Always a pleasure. Alright, let's jump right in. Since it's already after 7. I want to get as much game played as possible before my old ass has to go to bed. So I left off, we had just unlocked the infamous recorder and are ready to dive into World B4. Oh, you were hanging out with Zippy in person. That sounds fun. I'm good, actually. Like, it's, it has its ups and downs, and it's still new enough that I get sad sometimes, but it's made a really, really big difference. Like, well, I guess two things. I pretty well finished unpacking about a week and a half ago, and for a while that kind of weirdly made me sad. Like the absolute reality that, oh, okay, this is it, had was sinking in, you know. But now, like, I was saying this yesterday. I took a little time to grieve and then to honestly get excited. So we're yeah, all in all, I'm doing pretty good, and thank you for asking. So, Starfield. Oh gosh, I'm excited to get into Starfield. I haven't gone in too deep yet. It's not something I would do blind on any of my channels, of course, but I mean, I gotta say, thank God for my job, or I don't really believe in God, but you know what I mean. I'm very grateful for my job. It's really nice to just have that secure. Like I have a really, really, really great job, and I'm very happy about that. So, before we jump in here, a lot of people complained about the recorder. A lot of people who played this game. They are definitely, well, I wouldn't even go that far. They can be a little overwhelming because they make the puzzles very complicated. But the thing that kind of clicked for me, and once it did, suddenly I was able to solve recorder puzzles without much trouble, is that functionally you have to think about the timing and the sequencing, but fundamentally what the recorder does is give you 2 copies of everything to work with to solve the puzzle. And if you just think about it that way, if you can abstract out to having twice as many connectors, twice as many jammers, 2 robot bodies in order to work with to solve the puzzle, it should click, or at least it did for me. So let's start jumping into these puzzles.
You may wonder why I have created these labyrinths for you. Why you can reach eternity only through struggle. But have faith, for these trials serve the betterment of your kind.
Alright, let's do the terminal first. Pretty sure there's only one in here. No year given, BCE, Osiris6.text. Yeah, knew it was the truth. Now I will tell you of the many perils you will face in your journey through the Duat. Listen well, for the challenges that lie before you are great, and if you do not prove yourself worthy, you may never reach the eternal reed fields of Osiris, and you may be lost forever. From the second death, there is no awakening. The scribe brought forth a great papyrus and carefully unfolded it before the dying man, and the dying man beheld that it was a map of the Duat, showing the many paths that led to Tower of Anubis, where his heart was to be weighed. On each of the many paths, which threaded through the Duat like the infinite threads woven by Neith, 3, footnote, although we don't actually get the footnote, there were marked the dangers that a traveler must face. Also, there were great walls of iron that none but the gods could cross, and gates made of purest light, and so the traveler could not avoid the trials that had been decreed, and could only proceed towards the tower by proving his worth, thus earning the key to each sacred gate. Well, that sounds a lot like what we're doing, doesn't it? November 2nd, no year, web crawl. Oh, this was funny. Chatlog Charlie7.text. Flower 4. Man, you know what really freaks me out? Charlie on the rocks. What? The human body decomposes quite quickly, so all the information stored in chemicals in our brains will be gone really quickly. So here they are just talking about the fact that they know they're gonna die. Like, it's abundantly clear. Everybody knew well in advance that the end was coming. But, dude, computers and books last a long time, so all our messages, our ideas, our books, it'll all be out there. Oh, really, Lone Wonder? Any of the good ones? Before they became generic, weird, open-world RPGs? By good ones, I basically mean the first two, plus Brotherhood and Revelations. Anyway, it'll all be out there. Our porn, even being transmitted through space. Yeah, our porn too, I guess. Which is a good point. If we all died, all of our depraved, disgusting, horrible porn would still exist. Just think about that. We'll all be gone, but the works of Aristotle will still exist. So will Star Trek, Firefly, Babylon 5, Lord of the Rings, Blade Runner. I'm gonna guess what the words might be. Cyber Sluts of Planetron 6, Shakespeare, Byron, hell, even video games. I don't even know what the 6 letters would be. Something Overdrive 3, Seattle something. There's some things I can't even guess at. Cyber Sluts was pretty easy. Seattle blank, Dutch fucking Cascade, the Whores of Ass Mountain. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, imagine if aliens find those. And then local, October 1st, no year, Arcady Journal 84. Archive continues to grow, attempting to maintain a semblance of order is difficult as expected. Lost 7 people this week. Statistically speaking, trend should increase, must focus on realistic goals. Too little time to grieve. Okay, so this is, I think, our first clue as to what it actually might be. So, if he's losing people as he works and the trend is going to increase, that's kind of the first time it's obvious that it's a disease. Because everything else could have been like, giant asteroid, collision course for Earth, nothing to do. We know exactly when it's going to hit. But this tells us it's a disease, and we're losing people gradually as it goes on. And we're done here. Alright. Let's troll for paint buckets next. Oh, that was easy. Now, this is interesting. It hasn't really been relevant until now, but now that we've unlocked the recorder, I'll just let you know, you can bring a paint bucket through a purple gate. It's not like your actual puzzle tools. And then, if you really want to go wild with it, what you need to do, start the recorder. While the recording is running, behold all the fun, different messages we can paint on the wall. Test. What's the point of it all? Can you help me escape? I wish you could just solve this for me. You're standing in the wrong place. Am I the only one around here who thinks for themselves? Let's do... We should be able to do this a few times. Let's start with what's the point of it all. What's the point of it all? And now let's wait a bit. Because I need to give myself time to read it. Because it will disappear at the end of the recording. This is not a message that will stay. But there's actually a pretty well-hidden achievement for doing this, for leaving a message for yourself. So now my man's gonna go paint his answer. So I asked, what's the point of it all? And he says, should I be able to tell? So, I tried to hack the system, but my past recorded self does not know the answer to the question, what's the point of it all, any more than I do. Alright, so we did our paint bucket. There's no hex to find. Let's do our Easter eggs now. This map has a couple. And when that's done, we'll start solving puzzles. So you can just click on this wall behind the teleporter and it rolls down like that. Now, I have not played this, but I am told that this is a reference to Papers, Please. A game I've meant to play because people really, really love it. They say it's fantastic. I know it's by a single-man dev named Lucas Pope. He did Papers, Please, and then he did Return to the Obra Dinn. And people really love both of those games, and I haven't played either of them. But yeah, this is a Papers, Please Easter egg. Entry denied. And if you want to get real cheeky about it, of all places, hidden back here on the messenger altar, place you wouldn't normally think to look, but there was a big green stamp that said approved, which I can pick up, then go back here. Entry granted. Down we go. It's a movie theater. I'm in here with the Crow Team devs. Let's find a seat. Should be going already. I wonder if I'm bugging out somehow. It is jamming music. We're, okay, I can exit that. How do I go up in the projection room? Do I have to start it? Oh, I have to start it. There we go. I forgot I had to start the show. A long time ago, in a game far, far away, the sinister Imperial mental forces had spread all across the galaxy. The remaining group of Earth Defense Force fighters, led by the veteran General Sam Sirius Stone, established a small secret base on the remote ice platoon of Glendor Septimus. They are the galaxy's last hope. Sam Sirius Stone. I've loved the Serious Sam games, by the way. I don't know if y'all have ever played them, but they are fantastic mindless shooters. And they've got the same, like, off-the-wall, bizarre sense of humor that is evident in the Talos Principle Easter eggs, too. I don't know though. Serious Sam is hard. Like, I am not good at shooters these days. If you crank the difficulty on Serious Sam, it's hard. It's not quite as hard as Doom, but it's hard. But I would do it if y'all didn't expect me to be good. I'm just too old to be good at Twitch shooters, man. It's sad, but it's true. Hey, Karis, how are you? We're just watching the Serious Sam movie with some of the Crow Team devs. We're in that Easter egg. Sam's alive, it's okay! Yeah, maybe. That's it for that one. You can play it again if you go interact with the projector. You can go back in if you go grab the stamp again, but for now... wrap around the corner. Oh, okay, no, this message does stay. My question is gone. So, Karis, I don't know if you knew about this mechanic, but if you bring a paint can into a recorder puzzle, and you use it while the recording is running, you get a completely different set of options. You can ask questions like, what's the point of it all? Can you help me get out of here? Am I the only one around here who thinks for themselves? Like a whole different set of questions. Hopefully I'll find another one sometime tonight before we end. And then your copy paints an answer during the recording. So for the first one, I asked, what's the point of it all? And my copy answered, should I be able to tell? I think it's really cool. And the other Easter egg requires us to get out here. So remember what I said. Well, first let's read this QR, because some of these challenges must be designed with cooperation in mind, but I am the only one here. Sheep v69.1.0539. So it's not cross-platform, so the only place you'll ever really see a lot of messages is on Steam. But if you leave paint can messages, anyone on your friends list, on whatever, but they have to be on your friends list, but then anyone else can see the messages you write. And actually, if you get the, what's really interesting, which we discovered when, hi Gordita, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, great to have you. So I don't know if you all remember when Tiff played this game. I gifted it to her once when it was, I gifted it to her when it was on sale. She played all the way through it on her channel. And because A, I am on her friends list, and B, I had already finished the game to the point of getting the messenger ending, my name was actually one of the 3 messengers that she found in the Secret Islands. I replaced, I don't know if I replaced Brachial or Salafiel, but I think if you have a friend who has finished the messenger ending, one or both of those can be replaced by one of your friends. So I actually showed up in Tiff's game as one of her messengers, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, it's platform locked and locked to your friends list, but there is a little bit of interactivity between actual players. So you'll remember what I said, that functionally what the recorder does is give you 2 copies of everything. So what we really have is 2 connectors. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect it. I'm going to start the recording. I'm going to give myself 10 seconds. That should be enough. Yeah, I had no idea about the messenger mechanic until she played through the game and the coffin opened and boom, there I was. like that. We can connect to the copy and we can get our sigil. Now we need to try and make a jump up here with a, it's not a huge deal if I have to solve the puzzle again, but I'd prefer not to, so let's try not to fall. Yes, yes, more jumping. More! Come on now, get in there. You can just make it around that corner. There we go. If we do... I went the wrong way, I think it's over here. There it is. Right where we landed. So I found some secret dynamite. What do you reckon we should do with that? Oh, damn it! Oh. He got to me too fast. No, I am gonna have to solve it again. Oh well. That was devastating. I expected Elohim to say something sooner. Like, you usually got some lead time, but he just, like, he was done. It's like, fuck you. Go back and solve my puzzles. Alright, here we go. So I take it... Gordita, I take it by what you've said so far that you are also a very big fan of this game. Are you so excited for the sequel like I am? Well... as am I. Oh, welcome. It's always good to meet another Talos superfan. I mean, obviously I use the term meet loosely, but... yeah, we already did the Serious Sam movie before you got here, if you were wondering. I'm trying to get all the Easter eggs. I'm trying to translate all of the hex text out of the computers as I go. Find as many paint cans, leave as many messages as possible. I'm just going for absolute maximum completion to get myself even more excited for the sequel. Here we go. Here's where we can use our dynamite.
Jesus Christ, Sam, do you have to blow everything up?
Another Serious Sam Easter egg. Alright, that's it for Easter eggs, but let's grab the audio log.
DNA is information transmitted across time. The living and the dead are part of the same chain, bound together by chemistry. That's true of all species. But humanity has taken this bond further. Thanks to technology, we have access to the thoughts and ideas of people whose physical bodies are long gone. Like you listening to me now. Even though I'm definitely dead at this point, you're part of that chain. You have the capacity to remember.
I love Alexandra. You never even meet her, and she's one of my favorite video game characters of all time. The burning heart always looks to the highest peak. Uriel 4, V48.2.8560F. Oh yeah, absolutely, Gordita. I would be shocked if there was something in the actual story you managed to spoil for me at this point, and I am always up for fun facts about my favorite games. Look at the sheer scale of that pyramid, to think anyone could have built such things. At V17.1.0054. I would imagine that is. I should follow her on Twitch. Only marginally related, but since you're here, and I can refresh everybody else who's here on this too, my absolute favorite video games are video games with great storylines, and specifically with storylines that are married to the mechanics, as opposed... Yeah, absolutely. I want to follow more. Where the mechanics are actually, like, part of the story that's being told. Like, the Talos principle just really scratches that itch for me, because the entire story is that it's a video game. There are even, like, in-universe explanations for the fact that it's in Crow Team's Sirius engine, all that kind of stuff. Like, I love the Elder Scrolls for the same reason. Like, if you get deep into Elder Scrolls lore, there's actually, like, an in-universe explanation for your protagonist's ability to save scum and access the console and all that kind of stuff. Dark Souls, the mechanic of hollowing, also plays directly into the storyline and all the different enemies you find and the cycles and whatnot. Anyway, just so you kind of understand the sort of games I like. This game, not only is this game perfect for that, but kind of based on my tastes, a lot of people have told me that I should play Nier Automata, that I will absolutely love it. It's one of the greatest games they've ever played. And I was planning to do it anyway. I'm the kind of person who can't really come in midway through a series, and Nier is actually a spin-off of the Drakengard series, so I started at Drakengard 1, I'm working my way through those games to get to Nier Automata. So I already intended to play it, but knowing that Erin Fitzgerald is in it makes me even more eager to do that, to get to that point. Sure, I could stick around here, set my hopes on eternal life, on righting every wrong, but the closest I'll ever get is these words on the wall before you. At V17.1.0076. It's what I do, Karis, you know that. Okay, oh, and here's another. Oh, look, another puzzle. And another voice telling me I'm special. And another broken down computer with fragments of nothing. This world is a bad joke, perpetuated by a cruel god too dumb to hit the off switch. Dog, V55.1.3543N. I mean, he's not completely wrong. Alright, self-help tutorial. I know normally I do the easier ones first, but I wanted to do the Easter egg. As this one's as basic as it gets. Record. Let myself in. So that switch permanently deactivates the first energy gate. So we can record again. Give it a few seconds. In this case, my man's just letting me through. Alright, let's go to the other easy one. Double plate. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Stand on the left, 1, 2. Stand on the right, 1, 2. That should let us through. It really is amazing, though, like when you're in these tutorial levels, knowing how complicated the puzzles eventually get, based on all these superficially very simple mechanics. I've always found the difficulty curve of this game to be perfectly crafted and very satisfying. Alright, let's keep going. Redundant power supply. So this one kind of goes in 2 stages. First thing is just get our bops out. Okay. So we've done these in the last world, where we have to cut off the lasers to stop the fan. But a couple of other wrinkles in this one. We're gonna need something to open this energy gate. There are 2 lasers to block. So let's start the recording. I'm gonna give myself about 20 seconds. So the recording is gonna block this laser the entire time. And then all I have to do is run over to the other one and block it myself. After playback starts. Gotta bring the box. Okay, it's off. Now I gotta bring the box to open the energy gate. Can't forget that. And we got another. I missed this one too. Or almost did. Epitaph, child program V17.1.0076. Codename terminated here. Logic, fatal flaw in series firmware. Final memory dump. Life short. Progeny programs. Dog. Oh, Gordita, it's so nice to run into other fans of this game. It's my second favorite of all time. The only game I've ever played that I like even better than this is Outer Wilds. Unqualified recommend if you haven't played it yet. Oh yeah, this one's fun. Look, the textures are all wrong.
I shall not allow the corruption of my garden. Be gone!
It's different. It's a... I would say it's a puzzle... It's an exploration puzzle game at its core, but it's in space, so you have to learn space flight. Or you have to learn to fly your ship around, and it's really programmed really well. Like, everything... It doesn't fake anything. It's all real physics, so all the whole solar system you're in, all the orbits are real, the gravity values are real. They programmed it that way, and then they just let the physics play out. But, I don't know if you ever played Riven. But, I've often... when I heard about the Riven remake, I went back and played through Riven again, and, what's really interesting, to me is that if you play through Riven, or frankly Outer Wilds, there are very, very few actual puzzles. Like, if you think back to Riven, there are really only 2 puzzles in that entire game. But you have to have explored the whole world and really understand it in order to solve those 2 puzzles. Outer Wilds is kind of like that. But it's got one of the best stories ever written, just like this game does. Absolutely love it. Hi, River. Good to see you again. I'm going to call you Hearth, because my dog's name is River. Hi, Hearth. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Okay. So we got this one. It's not a recording puzzle. Yeah, I really, really like playing The Witness, but it's not... It doesn't crack my top 10. There's not a whole lot to it other than the puzzles, for me. But I do really like the puzzles, and finally beating the challenge under the mountain is one of my greatest gaming triumphs. Let's see. No point in going in here yet. Yeah, we need to go here first. This took me a minute to remember the order. So here's our second connector, which is not enough to get us in there. But it can get us in here to a third one. Now with 3 connectors... That's right, it's all coming back to me. With 3 connectors, we can chain our way into here. Launch a box. Now what good is launching a box? Allow me to demonstrate. Gotta come back here again. But if you actually remember, there was a QR... Well, we've seen this before. We know all about making boxes float. We've seen that mechanic before. It's just a distance level up of that, so to speak. So let's grab... Where's my free connector? There should be at least one. Here it is. So what we want to do is just stick this up here. It'll be self-sustaining. Now we have a floating red laser. We only need one connector to get in here. And then the last one, if we go to the other side of the fence, as long as that one's in the air, we can reach it and get our sigil. Stanley Parable. Oh, I love the Stanley Parable. I do love the Stanley Parable. Now, the Stanley Parable didn't have a lot of game attached to it, but the storyline was... The various storylines were really interesting. I'm a person who doesn't mind walking simulators, and they can be really well written, but what really impresses me is when a game has a bunch of genuine game mechanics, like a Dark Souls, like an Outer Wilds, like a Talos Principle, and those mechanics are actually part of the story. I think that's a lot harder to pull off, and it's amazing when it happens well. Oh, but it's hard to get funnier than Stanley Parable. 8. Alright, so this one is an interesting beast. You'll notice the buzzer there. No way we're managing that. But we can just shoot around it. Also note that shit flying up from behind the wall there. That's interesting, isn't it? So the thing, the aha moment you have to have with this one, we've already got some experience with desyncing mines so that we're able to walk through them. Here, we have to do the opposite. We need to use our box to sync these up so that our laser has more uninterrupted time to work on this gate and get it open. Let's read these QRs while we're in here. It seems that mistakes are easily forgiven here. I thought I had surely died, yet here I am, reset, rebooted, reborn. I will tackle these challenges anew. Samsara v72.2.039. Epitaph Child Program v72.2.0103, codename Samsara, terminated here. Logic. Program failed to pass random memory test. Final memory dump. Being torn limb from limb by machines for the rest of eternity becomes less and less appealing to me. Progeny Programs, Samsara v72.3 series. Well, so far that's understandable. Alright, we do want to bring the box with us. We need the second connector as well. So this one goes right here. This is the one that's ultimately going to open the gate for us. Now, we can use the box to take this first buzzer out of play, which then allows us to go this way, hit all 3 connection points, and with the mine synced, we're going to have to wait till the next cycle, but it should have time to open the gate and let me grab the sigil. And with that, we are also free to open the second door of the tower. But wait, what's this? Another box? Oh, do tell. Alright, so out here, we have 2 boxes and we have 2 connectors. What we want to do... So with the 2 boxes and the buzzer, we can hop up onto this wall. We see the first star is already there, and there's a fan that'll launch us out of the puzzle. Let's grab that. Let's launch. Now look at us, we have a connector. And here is where, suddenly, Uriel's hint comes into play. The burning heart always looks to the highest peak. Well, what does that mean? Of course, it means there's a secret laser up there. And we can connect it right to the burning heart of the Sphinx. And when we do that, lo and behold, there's star number 2. That'll do us for world B4. I gotta look at something real quick. No, there's no hex on... We're gonna go do tower floor 2, but there's no hex. There's no hex on it to worry about. I don't think there are any Easter eggs. Well, there are a few inside the tower, but... As I check, I think we're all right. Okay. Now, I'm quite sure Milton's going to be ready to talk again. Yep, there he is. My boy, what you been up to? Ah, you're back. Good. I've been thinking about how I can help you. In light of everything you've said, I'm certain someone has to. What I've decided is that you've convinced me consciousness is a contradictory concept and is therefore not real. What do you think? I think you're right. I think you're cheating. I don't see how this impacts me. I don't, apparently. I mean, I think all of these are actually pretty good answers. Because we talk about consciousness, and nobody can really define it, right? I think that's a fair statement. But, I mean, that doesn't mean it's not real, but... I mean, I think it does. Frogs can define it, but it's sort of this metaphysical property that we have imbued ourselves with, and some other things, and we kind of arbitrarily don't assign it to thinking machines or machines that are aware of themselves. And it's not really clear to me that that's anything other than us still trying to be special. But I'm not sure it's not real either, right? I think you're cheating. Yeah. No, he's just thinking out loud. I don't see how this impacts me. Now that is actually a good answer, because whether or not consciousness is real doesn't really have any effect on what we should do. Right? Like, whether we really have a choice or not doesn't really make much of a difference, if you ask me. But my favorite is the funny one. I don't, apparently. So I'm going with that. Very droll. What this conclusion means is that the certification program you undertook has been rendered obsolete. We can't test for something that doesn't exist. Therefore you, along with quite a lot of other things, have been recategorized as a person. Your profile can thus be updated with administrator privileges. Download user profile. No doubt you'll be off doing administrator things soon enough, so I wonder if before I let you go, you'd do me one favor. I have a final question for you. Why are you doing all this? What's the point? I try to do what God wants. I want the truth. There's a way the world should be, and this isn't it. I want out of here. I like both of these, but the absolute bottom line is I want out of here. Checking user profile. So all it takes to make you forget your lofty moral principles is a little solitude? Yes, people deserve this and that, but no, none of that matters when my own liberty is at stake. What happened to doing the right thing? Well, I didn't really say... I have no more morals. He just asked me why I was doing it, and the baseline answer is that I do want out of here. Like, it's certainly a leap to go from me saying the main reason I'm doing this is because I want to escape what is obviously a simulation, All the way, too. That means you're scrapping all of your morals. I understand the constraints of writing in this interface in 2014, but that's a bit of a silly jump. Anyway, I only have one last request. Will you come back and speak to me sometime? No doubt. No doubt I'll have to. No. I'm just gonna go with no doubt. I like talking to him, even if he does cheat his logic sometimes. No doubt. Okay. I sense you're eager to get going. Let's do this. Updating certification program parameters, regenerating user profiles. Your user profile has now been generated. Downloading. Displaying overview. Congratulations, your account has been updated. Here are the details. Conflicts. All conflicts have been resolved by the administrator. Psychological profile. You are a person. You are perfect just the way you are. You are everything you can be already. You do not have to pretend you are anything else. You are the same as everyone else, but you are all unique. Profile status. Administrator status has access to advanced functionalities, networking, and troubleshooting. Access comm portal. Loading Milton. Hello, Administrator. I think you'd like assistance accessing the communications portal. I see that you have a number of pending communications. We'll take a look at it right now. Accessing portal, connection established, encountered unknown errors, running troubleshooter, resolving missing hashes, re-establishing network connection, connection established, message received as string. Display. Message. Hello? Who are you? Where are you? Are you a person? Who are you? Don't know exactly. Woke up here. Don't remember. Who are you? Same boat. Let's meet up. I'm a person. Do you know what that means? I'm not telling. This place lies. I mean, at this point, if I had actually experienced all these things, I'd be a lot less certain I was a person. But I would go with same boat. Let's meet up. I'm in much the same boat. Shall we meet up? I understand. Pending. Error. Pending. Error. Again soon. Error. Network connection lost. You will receive a notification when the connection has been re-established. Alright. So that is all for here. I need to take a quick restroom break before we run back to the tower and tackle floor 2, so I will be right back. Oh, Lone Wonder. You can't see it, obviously. It's underneath me. But, you'll be pleased to know I did, in fact, get a chair mat. I installed that today. Amazon Prime, but I was able to get same-day delivery on a pretty good little mat for like $25. It wasn't expensive and it's working great. Okay, where was I going? To the tower. That's right. I already have the hedging my bets achievement. There is an achievement for collecting every sigil without ever going into the tower. It's called Hedging My Bets. But, I've already unlocked it, and I much prefer to unlock everything as I have the sigils to unlock it. My brain is just happier that way. Let's roll. Up to floor 2.
Attempting to track primary subject. Access denied. Query.
Ghosted ya, Elohim. After you solve a lot of these, you kind of get to where you can see the patterns, but it's not easy to do at the start. I ordered some stuff before I remembered to change my address, so a bunch of stuff is getting dropped off at the old place. I'll pick it up later this week. Excuse me. Oh no, it's the next floor. I thought I was missing some QRs, but they're on the next floor. Here we go. Ascending the tower is useless. We cannot escape the cycle, we can only realize the cycle is meaningless. Samsara V72.5.0164. Earlier generations wrongly believed they were the purpose. This much is true. We are also not the purpose. But by remembering what has come before, we can serve a new purpose. The Shepherd, V82.4.2324. So, it's already kind of becoming clear, but, and it took me until pretty recently to piece this together. But of all of the different child programs that all started with version 1, Sam, there are only 2 who remember the past between their cycles, and obviously they react very differently. They are the various iterations of Samsara, and then Sheep, who eventually decides to become the Shepherd, remembers what he's been through as well. Which is kind of what he's talking about here when he says, by remembering, we can serve a new purpose. Talking directly to Samsara, because she's the other one who... I always call Samsara as she. I'm actually not sure about it. I'm gendering them either direction for no reason. But, yeah. He's talking to Samsara, because they're the 2 that remember. Here's another time capsule.
My best friend died today. In the abstract, a human death is nothing, of course. An insignificant blip in a sea of billions. But the world is not abstract. Reality is always specific. Painfully so. And that one specific human being who existed only once in all of the infinity of time and space, that human being was my friend. But he's not coming back, no matter how much I want him to. So, all I can do in the end is keep working, because that specificity, that uniqueness of people, of real people, is worth preserving.
Yeah. And that snippets like that are why this is one of my favorite games. I also happen to completely agree. I think the anti-human cynics are just completely wrong. Alright, so we got 2 boxes at the start. Step 1, get a 3rd box. Let's stash that one. Let's put this one underneath us. Oh, whoops. I forgot to move the fan over. It's like, why isn't it working? There we go. Now we can drop the fan box. It bumps up under us very nicely. We move it up to another shelf. Now if I do this, it's gonna knock that original one back to the ground somewhere, but I can restock the original shelf, and now I've got 3 boxes hanging out up here. I put 1 underneath me, bottom shelf, 2 underneath me. Top shelf. 3 underneath me. And make it to the top. In the earliest generations of our kind, there was only processing. No emotion, no character, just mathematics. If you could see how far we have come, you would believe that together we could achieve anything. The Shepherd, B82.3.3574. Alright, note the sticky note. 215. Read me. Text. If you can see this, I'm not sure how or why I can alter this text. My name is the Shepherd, and I want to help you escape. Elohim and Samsara tricked me into trapping myself, but I'm not entirely bound by time. I wrote down the code you're looking for. I have attached it to... Aha! So there's the code to floor 3. Let's go ahead and unlock it, then we'll read the other... stuff. Floor access control. Floor 3, locked, requires code. 215. Code accepted. Unlocking. Exit this utility. Alright, then we have the web.html. To be honest, I thought that the net would be completely abandoned at this point, but internet activity has actually surged massively in the last couple of weeks. Everybody's talking, trying to find solutions, exchanging stories, saying goodbye. It's like the entire planet is reaching out, all the disparate threads of humanity pulling together, idiots and geniuses alike, to be as human as possible one last time. It's almost like what we were always told the internet was going to be. And most of it is free now, because who cares about money at this point? Might as well have some fun. If any of you would like to talk, especially people I've known online for a long time, send me an email. I'd love to say goodbye. Really? How did you solve it, Hearth? And are you sure you're not thinking of the 4th floor? Which is the one where you use the recorder and kind of jump up on top of your copy who's holding a box on the platform in order to grab the keys out of the sky. There are 2 big-time box stacking puzzles in the tower, floor 2 and floor 4. And mathematics.email. From Alan Jameson to Ian mailing list. Subject, thank you and goodbye. We sincerely hope you don't take our suicide as a sign that we were disappointed in you, unappreciative of your friendship, or in any way unhappy with our lives. Looking back, we can honestly say that we feel incredibly lucky to have known all of you and to have participated in this amazing research. And if we've contributed a little to the future of humanity, what can we feel but gratitude? It is a true privilege to have had such insights into the nature of the mind. Neither of us believes in God, but we've certainly experienced a sense of awe that could be compared to a kind of religious feeling, at least according to Einstein's understanding of God. We've chosen to go now, together, because it means less suffering. One last beautiful day together seems a much better ending than a slow wasting away. In a sense, it's just mathematics. Love, Alan and George. Alright, so we know who they are here, I think. Yeah, George and Alan Jameson were the ones who built the generation module and the scenario module. So at some point, when they felt their work was finished, they decided to kill themselves together rather than wait around for the disease to take them. Now floor 3 is unlocked. Let's see what's up there. I mean, it's entirely possible you found a different solution, too. This is weirdly enough, in the tower, specifically, there are 2 very similar puzzles that involve, like, self-stacking in order to get to the solution, and it's floors 2 and 4. Elohim has offered me a deal. Pearly gates and eternal life, on the condition I turn back from the tower. I don't know what to do. Sheep v55.1.0800. And gotta go get more red sigils to go any higher. Such is life. Back for more of Elohim's contrivances we go. Chastise me.
My child, you may go freely to all the worlds of my garden. But if the tower tempts you, be wise. Do not let yourself be misled by doubt.
Oh. I didn't catch that till he clarified. I like that. Alright. Next one, we have the final green sigil, plus 4 reds and another star.
You have solved many of the mysteries of this land. The road before you is still long and many gates remain closed. But take comfort in your accomplishment and in your creator's pride.
Alright. First terminal first. Actually, these QRs first. Whatever's going on here, I'm sure it has something to do with the tower. Everything is telling us not to go there, but everything indicates that we must. Sheet v69.1.0623. Unless you're wrong and Elohim's right, or you're both wrong, or there is no right. Dog, v55.2.0195n. I think you've been taking the thing in the archive too seriously. Sheep, v69.1.0623. Okay. Now we can terminal. Alright, Osiris7.text. Tell me of the fearsome demons of the Duat, the dying man said to the wise scribe. Though their terrible forms are loathsome to behold, they are not evil, for they are the servants of the gods. Truly, they are the blessed doorkeepers and guardians of the holy paths. Their charge is to judge whether we are worthy to pass the gates that lead to Aru, and so they challenge us with riddles, or in combat. Is this true of all the beings that live in the Duat? Some say that it is not so, that there are ancient gods whose names have been forgotten, and spirits of darkness whose name none have ever known, and that these must be avoided at all costs. But others say that these, too, serve a greater purpose in ways that Osiris has not revealed to us. And what of the hidden paths that are taken by when the... Alright, there is some hex to translate, but it's not on this terminal. Ta and the other phases of Ra. Do you know some Egyptian mythology, Karis? Do you want to explain what you just typed? Clue me in, as it were, while I read the next one. Coming soon. Email, August 18th, no year given. From Rob McLean, Institute for Applied Nomadics, to Mom, subject, coming soon, your son in 3D. Hi, Mom. I promise I'll be home soon. Maybe a couple of weeks. I know, but what we're doing here is important, and the team needs my help. I'm not going to wait until it's too late, I promise. But there's so much we have to set up, so much that has to work for a very, very long time. Besides, I've always wanted to work on one of these supercomputers, and believe me, EL is pretty much the best there is. And the team, Mom, it's like I'm working with rock stars and mad geniuses. Except nobody's heard of them outside of science journals, of course. But Dad would be totally geeking out if he knew. Maybe I can tell him about it soon, huh? Love, Rob. Ra is the creation god, and it has 3 phases. Atum Ra, which is the potential to create. Ta Ra, which is the creation force. And then Amon Ra, which is the take of consciousness. Okay. Potential, creation force, consciousness. Very interesting. Alright, blog24, alive.html, May 31st, 2028. So, somebody's gonna write this in 5 years. But they could have written it today. This along with the AI doc from World A, the one about how what people are really afraid of is proving once and for all that consciousness can spontaneously arise from matter. These two are some of my favorite bits of writing in the entire game. My understanding is that the true God. Interesting. Log24, alive.html. What is the point of being alive? I know. It's an old question and not one that's easy to answer. But I mean, if you're reading this, or if you're listening to me say it, you are alive. And someday you will stop being alive. Both of these facts are incontrovertible. So what about it then? Don't you wonder? Do you just want to go from not existing to not existing again without even considering why? You, right now, as you sit there reading this, why do you exist? What is the purpose of your life? Do you have one? Should you have one? Is it better to have a purpose or not? When you approach death, will you feel that your life had meaning? If so, why? If not, why not? What defines whether a life was good or not? It may seem abstract right now, but that moment just before death will come. It is inevitable. If you don't ask yourself these questions, how will you face that moment? I think about that a lot, as do many people who have suffered from existential dread like I have. Alright, I think next we should do our paint bucket hunt / go looking for the second terminal. Couldn't find the word for a minute. Anubis, put your heart on the scales against a feather. Yeah, they reference the feather in this game, and Anubis weighing your heart against it. I don't know if it's in the base game. It's definitely in Gehenna. I think it's also in the base game, but I'm not sure. Alright, no paint bucket here. That's the first spot it can show up, but don't worry, there are others. Not there either. Alright, we've still got another shot or two. There's some good Easter eggs in this map, too. This is the one, and there it is! Oh good, and we have a recording, too. Let's go have some fun. So, Karis and anybody else who missed it the first time, I feel like this piece is so obscure, even some of the super fans might not know about it. I didn't know about it for a long time. But, so here's Alley of the Pressure Plates. So same as before, I'm going to start the recording, and I'm going to paint. So we already did What's the Point of It All, so our other options are Test, can you help me escape? I wish you could just solve this for me. You're standing in the wrong place. Am I the only one around here who thinks for themselves? Let's go with Can you help me escape? Let's give it a bit to make sure I have time to read it. After my copy answers. Alright, so don't forget the question we asked was, can you help me escape? And the reply is, no. I am very busy undertaking the series of actions that constitute my existence. And so, earlier when I asked what's the point of it all, he said, should I be able to tell? Which I also thought was a really good answer. I have been running this gauntlet for generations, trying to find the right answers. I am fast coming to the conclusion that there are none. Dog, V55.3.6437N. Alright, let's go get the bonus terminal. It's back here, if memory serves. Yeah, here we go. And this one also has some hex we can translate. Alright. 400 BCE, Hippocratic Corpus.text. On the sacred disease, 400 BCE. So see, now, as far as I'm concerned, this guy is whoever wrote this spitting facts 2,700 years ago, or 2,400 years ago. Men ought to know that from nothing else but the brain come joys, delights, laughter and sports, and sorrows, griefs, despondency and lamentations. And this is back when we think people were in the Dark Ages, believing in humors in their blood and shit like that. And this guy gets it. It's all about the brain. And by this, in an especial manner, we acquire wisdom and knowledge, and see and hear, and know what are foul and what are fair, what are bad and what are good, what are sweet and what unsavory. Some we discriminate by habit, and some we perceive by their utility. By this we distinguish objects of relish and disrelish according to the seasons, and the same things do not always please us. And by the same organ we become mad and delirious, and fears and terrors assail us, some by night and some by day, and dreams and untimely wanderings, and cares that are not suitable, and ignorance of present circumstances, desuetude, and unskillfulness. 1905, Chesterton brain. Well, this one I like too, because it basically just calls out total nihilism. Which, I don't know that it's completely wrong, but I appreciate the call out anyway. The human brain is a machine for coming to conclusions. If it cannot come to conclusions, it is rusty. When we hear of a man too clever to believe, we are hearing of something having almost the character of a contradiction in terms. It is like hearing of a nail that was too good to hold down a carpet, or a bolt that was too strong to keep a door shut. Man can hardly be defined after the fashion of Carlyle as an animal who makes tools. Ants and beavers and many other animals make tools in the sense that they make an apparatus. Man can be defined as an animal that makes dogmas. As he piles doctrine on doctrine and conclusion on conclusion in the formation of some tremendous scheme of philosophy and religion, he is, in the only legitimate sense of which the expression is capable, becoming more and more human. When he drops one doctrine after another in a refined skepticism, when he declines to tie himself to a system, when he says that he has outgrown definitions, when he says that he disbelieves in finality, when in his own imagination he sits as God, holding no form of creed but contemplating all, then he is by that very process sinking slowly backwards into the vagueness of the vagrant animals and the unconsciousness of the grass. Trees have no dogmas. Turnips are singularly broad-minded. Bronstein brain.text, 1926. Archive, 1926. Lev Davidovich Bronstein. So here's some hex I'll translate after we read the rest of the text. The human brain is a product of the development of matter, and at the same time is an instrument for the cognition of this matter. I love this little paragraph too. Gradually it adjusts itself to its function, tries to overcome its limitations, creates ever new scientific methods, imagines ever more complex and exact instruments, checks its work again and yet again, step by step penetrates into previously unknown depths, changes our conception of matter, without, though, ever breaking away from this basis of all that exists. A few opinionated turnips. And the hex translates to, the true method of knowledge is experiment. And February 16, 2010, Medicine Archive, neuroscience.text. Physiological history. Volunteers suffered a blood clot during infancy, which resulted in a left hemisphere stroke. Expected result. In normal adults, the left hemisphere is used for language and other cognitive functions. Extensive damage to this part of the brain usually results in severe cognitive deficiencies. Observed result. Volunteer is now 17 years old and displays only very subtle cognitive deficiency. MRIs indicate little to no activity in the left hemisphere, suggesting its usual functions have been taken on by neuron sets in the right. Volunteer's age at the time of the stroke may have helped the brain to adapt. That's fascinating, too. Have you, incidentally, if you ever really want to go down a wild and crazy rabbit hole, you should read some of the anecdotes about split brain experiments, because let me see if I can find the one I'm thinking of right quick. So, right, so they, so some patients, for whatever reason, have had the two hemispheres of their brain actually physically split. They sever the corpus callosum. Now, I forget why they do this. There's obviously a medical reason for the intervention. But what's fascinating is the different functions they have. So, they'll, and I'm gonna, if I try to say it, I'm gonna forget which side is which too, so I won't. But you know, if you show a really disturbing image to the side that's connected to memory and factual recall, but you block it off. So in a split brain patient, you can show things to one eye or the other, you can put things in one hand or the other, you can try out different senses, all kinds of stuff. And they found that people with split brains, they would see something disturbing, they would get extremely viscerally emotionally upset, and they would have no idea why, because the half of their brain that knew or remembered what the thing wasn't functioning, but the emotional memory still kicked in the second they saw it. And you know, if they'll blindfold someone, have them hold an object, and they won't be able to tell what it is, even when it's really obvious, like a glass bottle. And they'll be able to tell you what a glass bottle is, but they won't be able to tell you that they're holding one, because their senses are all divorced from the rest of their homes in the brain. Anyway, it's been a while since I did it, obviously, but highly recommend that rabbit hole. It's fascinating stuff. Alright, now let's go for Easter eggs. Of which there are two. One of them we'll get at the end, because it involves fishing some stuff out of a puzzle and having some gear we also use for a star, but this one, we gotta find... I may have to get on the Steam community and look for the picture of exactly where it is. There's another one of those telescope keys is in the water somewhere. I just, for the life of me, I can't remember exactly where. It's around this little building someplace. Yeah, there's no crouch button either. Oh, hi. The voice keeps saying that this world is a garden, but all I see is a desert full of ruins. Dog v55.1.5559N. Alright, where is this key? I don't want to waste a lot of time looking. If I don't find it in the next minute or so, I'm going to look it up. It's mostly like those where they put the surface texture on the water. Obviously, it's so hard to see. Why would they do that? I don't know. Alright, screw it, I'm looking it up. I don't wanna waste time combing through the water. Okay. Is near the center, facing out. Okay, that helps. I'm probably gonna need to get a video. Yeah, let me just grab a video right quick. Come on, dude. The key. Show me where the key is. Aha. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm at the wrong building. That's the problem. It's this partially submerged building that, by the way, is the identical fucking building as that. No, I ain't mad. Why would I be mad? There it is. That, for those of you who are poorly versed in classic cinema, is a Planet of the Apes Easter egg. The half-buried Statue of Liberty in the sand. It's the moment he discovers that he's been on Earth all along and he's just traveled into the far distant future. We'll get the other Easter egg after some puzzling. And it's really this is one of the more complicated stars to get. I think he says you blew it all up, didn't he? Something like that. You blew it up, you blew it all up, something like that. Slightly elevated sigil. This is the final green puzzle, or green sigil in the entire game. Get your box. Get your second connector. I'll bring this over here afterwards. Alright, so obviously we need to set up a floating laser. We've done this a few times at this point. So, pop that here, but it can't feed itself, so we need to give it some juice first, and then it becomes self-sustaining. At which point we can get our sigil. Oh, the sound bugged. That's a shame. I really like the sigil collection sound. That's too bad. Anyway, so I was saying this is one of the more complicated stars. So we need two things to get it. We need a laser to power this, and we need a fan in here. We need to bring two different things out of two different puzzles. Our blue laser comes out of here. So first, let's just detach the fan, bring everything back down, reattach the fan. But we're not going to try to make it self-sustaining this time. What we're going to do instead is we're going to set it up, but I'm going to block it. I'm going to bring a connector with me, and I am going to ride the box. Which lets me bring the laser over the wall to power the fan. So there's step one. It is only one star on this map, right? I think so, but yeah, just one. Okay, good. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the other one now. There's some puzzles that could kill me and reset everything, and so let's do behind the Iron Curtain next. Sigil's right there, but as you might guess, it's going to take some doing to get a blue laser all the way out here. Let's explore. See if we can get a fan out of here. Let's do that. Why not? These switches both control this gate. We only need one pressed at any given moment to have it down. Now that's cool. So now I can have all of these open. So there's our blue laser source. We only have one connector at the moment. We need at least two, because we have to have the red light. There's no way to hold this gate open to get to the blue source unless the red receiver is powered, so we gotta go find another connector before we can do anything else. Let's bring everything back out of here. We're gonna need it, including the fan. Back in its receptacle. Oops. Juggle everything through this way. Now with this, we can just use this source. That'll turn the fan on. But I hope you can see why that would be asinine when we can dual use the connector. Never forget connectors can weight down switches too. Oh my god, it's Alexandra Drennan herself! Hi! Welcome, it's so good to have you. Let me just say, I absolutely adore your performance in this game, and I can't wait for the sequel. Oh wow, Alexandra Drennan is in my chat while I play Talos Principal. Amazing. How are you, Erin? How's your Tuesday? It's so lovely to have you. Alright, so let's haul some boxes up here. Yeah, I mean, we've all known since the trailer that you were in it. So that's good. I'm not gonna ask for anything that even might be a spoiler. I'm very excited. I was very thrilled to hear your voice when the trailer dropped. I don't know if you can answer this. How solid is that 2023 release date? That's the question I will ask. Yeah, it's always so good to spot other fans of this game. I don't know. I imagine you're probably on a first name basis with them. I talked to Tom Joubert and Jonas Karatzis on Twitter sometimes. I've interacted with them, so it is a really, really cool group of people who made this game and who play it and who love it. Fair enough. I don't think they would have said 2023 if they weren't pretty sure, but okay. So to get down here, let's bring both of our boxes. Make a staircase of sorts. That is how we can retrieve the second connector, which will let us get the sigil. I can't remember. Do I need a box too? I think I do, don't I? Yeah, I need one of the boxes as well, which I can reach from here, or should be able to reach from there at any rate. If I get good, he will usually, and paradoxically it's about getting closer to the edge, he won't do that jump. There we go. No. We do red here. And if you're paying attention, you'll notice that this is elevated so that you can just shoot your blue laser under it and get the sigil. Karis, Erin Fitzgerald is the voice actress who plays Alexandra Drennan in this game. She's also been in several other games. When I talked about how much I want to play Nier Automata but haven't yet, that's because she's in that game too. Oh no, my sigil sound is broken. I wonder if changing maps will reset it. I'll do it after I get this star and the Pink Floyd Easter egg. Okay, so to get the... So we're completely done in here. We don't even need to worry about this anymore. Now we're actually just kind of gonna engineer ourselves back to an earlier point in the solution. He says, almost, but not quite forgetting what he needs to get his box and other connector out. Alright, fan goes there. Box comes back up. I don't think I need the other connector, but why not? Actually, this may be good. Hold on. I can wait one... Yeah, because I don't need the second connector, so let me re-weight one of these with this. So I can pull up a second box. I'm ultimately trying to do is hop this wall and bring a box with me. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with your entire body of work, Erin, but I absolutely adore your performance in this game. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a real pleasure to halfway meet you. Alright, Alright, so we can hop on here, and if I did it right, I should just be able to pick up my second box. I can't. Gotta do better. I think I probably just need it even closer to the edge. Nope, that's not it. Well, let me think about this a second, because I need to bring the box out. I really remembered being able to just stand on it. There we go. Suddenly I was able to grab it. Who knows? Okay. So we're gonna launch the box out. We're gonna bring this spare fan with us. Now we've got everything we need. First things first, in case the map ever resets, let's get the star. Skadoosh. Now let's go get the box we launched. Let's take it over to... I actually need to take the fan back for the Easter egg. It's around here. There it is. You can hear the fan spinning behind the wall here. So let's bring the box. Well, this is my third, maybe fourth playthrough. So at this point, I'm looking up where absolutely everything is, so I don't miss anything else. I did the first run completely blind, as one should, but all right. Now, if we launch out of here, oh boy, where are we going? Secret teleporter. Ah, somebody likes Pink Floyd. Well, I sure hope, if I miss one, I feel confident she'll tell me. Glad to have you here. Whoa! I have not looked into the prism. Is that something I should recognize? I mean, I can kind of tell it's a big church-like building, but I don't recognize what I'm looking at. But that's pretty cool. Alright, so there's the other Easter egg. Alright, let's solve... Oh, and sweet, now we get to listen. We get to listen to some Pink Floyd for a while we solve some more puzzles. I'm a fan. Alright, let's see. Where's the one with the recorder and the two turrets? I hate that one, so let's get it done. Me, myself, and our two jammers. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute the VOD if I want to put it on YouTube, but that's alright. I don't mind. It's worth it. Oh, shoot. I messed up. I need to stand here while the turret is jammed. So I've got a nice window where the gate is held open and the first turret is jammed. Okay. I'm gonna stand here again. Jam the second turret. And because of the switch, remember you can disable the gate and the turret at the same time using just a jammer. Okay. So now, my ghost jammer keeps the first turret shut down. My ghost fella keeps the gate open. I can use the jammer to get through the second gate, and in a minute, my ghost fella's gonna jam the second turret and I can get my sigil. Oh, hi, Presh. No, I haven't played any mods. I've seen a few people playing some of the fan-created puzzles. That might be something to get into. Alright. Well, now I don't care if the map resets, and I very much want to fix my sigil sound. So let me teleport in and out. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are multiple solutions to a lot of the puzzles. I don't, and only the people who made the puzzles could tell us which, if any, solutions were actually the intended ones. As long as you solved it. Yeah, well, and with the recorder puzzles, where it's just about moving different pieces around, I bet there really are a lot of different ones. Alright, let's go hardest to easiest. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I walked into this puzzle and I saw the title, I panicked a little. Or no, not this one. This is a big recorder puzzle, but the one that made me... The one I had to sell myself to tackle was, I think it's in C6, the one that's called The 7 Doors of Recording. Oh, just the title was like, oh no! Alright. So this one is also pretty interesting, but basically the idea to make it work is get everything open as far as you can without the recorder running to start. So we're going to break the connection, turn off the power to the fan. We're going to bring all the objects we have over here, so we're going to start the recording, and I am actually just going to run out here and stand on the, wait, I think I'm doing this wrong. Let me think a minute. Yeah, no, these can't be ghosts. I need to move them around. My mistake. Don't worry, I'll get it. But at this moment, we want the recording started. This is me giving myself time to assemble everything that needs to be assembled after I hit the playback. Okay, so now we'll go fan, we'll go connector, and me. I'll stand here till the minute's rounded out. Okay. Box goes on fan. Connector goes to source and to both receivers. Goes on the box. Alright, I got that set up. The gate on the far side is open. Now I just need to wait for Ghost Bro to open all the gates for me. And I should have a clear run to the sigil. That's true. I mean, that doesn't, I wouldn't say that feeds my ego. In fact, I think for the vast majority of people who watch streams and YouTube videos, it makes me very, very boring. But it gives me my tribe of completionists as well. Alright, 4 chambers of flying. This is the last one for this world. I'm getting better at this. I figured this one out in minutes, but where is it all leading? I work, I rest, I work, but to what end? Schmo V37.1.0231. We are born and die and live again. This eternal cycle must be the nature of existence. Life is merely repeated suffering. Samsara V72.4.0016, and an eternal cycle is another name for a prison. But you must understand the cycle before you can break it. For it is possible to escape and yet remain a prisoner, or to break the cycle by breaking yourself. This was the fate of the ghost that haunts this world. The Shepherd, B82.18.0997. Are you talking about that last puzzle, Karis? Yeah, like, finally having all the pieces in one of those big, complex recording puzzles click together, it's very satisfying. I was pretty dismayed. Honestly, when I heard that they took the recorders out of the sequel, that disappointed me. I know a lot of people thought those puzzles were too hard, but I enjoyed them. Alright, so this one, I have a box. That turns on a fan, so I can launch a box. If I remember correctly, the connector is entirely a dud. There's no use for it at all. If we go over here, we can fish out a jammer. We can bring the box with us too. That's right, this puzzle is the one that teaches you about launching things. So you can launch your jammer intact if you launch it on a box. I think this is also the first puzzle that has a total red herring. You don't use the connector at all in order to solve it. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the case. And that should be everything here. Oh, look! Our network connection's back online! Attention, Administrator, the network connection has been re-established. Would you like to reconnect to the previous session? Yes, I would. Receiving messages string. Message, are you back? Yes, what were you trying to say before? Yes, do these terminals talk to you at all? Yes, but how do I know I can trust you? I would be most interested in what they were trying to say when all the errors were happening. Don't remember, doesn't matter. I've been trying to figure out how this place works. Sometimes it seems like there's a purpose to everything, other times not so much. I think we must be plugged into some kind of machine. I think something else is going on. What do you have to go on? Making assertions is a hazardous enterprise. Let's ask why they think so. What else could possibly explain all this? I don't believe in demons and evil wizards. Oh my gosh! Erin, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it so much. I hope we can catch each other streaming the sequel later this year. I think this is some kind of punishment. I think we're being prepared for something. I think something has gone badly wrong. Perhaps you have it right after all. I don't believe in anything anymore. Now, if I were to try to think of everything we could piece together from the documents and terminals and conversations and QRs we have seen so far, like, at this point, we already know we're in a simulation. We already have some notion that it was created in response to the world ending. So I think it's fair to say I wouldn't call it a punishment. Being plugged into a machine is actually completely correct. But I think we're being prepared for something. Frogs exist. And cats. I suppose that would explain a lot. Listen, there's something else. Maybe it can help us. Suppose we are in some kind of computer program. These things always have a back door, right? I think I have found it. I think we can escape. There's this keyword I found repeated all over the place. I just don't know how to use it. I have no idea either. What is it? You shouldn't dig too deep. What is it? Swear not to go anywhere without me and I'll tell you. MLA-process.bat logged into the session. Wait, what is that? Are you doing that to my terminal? I don't think this is a good idea. Off they go. Alright. It is getting late for me. I think what I'd like to do to round it out, since I have access to World C now, let's go get the axe. Let's do maybe one of the messenger worlds. Depending on how fast it goes, maybe another, but I'm gonna go, since Erin is here, I'm gonna go listen to my personal favorite audio log from this game, and then we'll call it good, I think. Ye old batch files ruining the day. That sounds really cool, Fresh. I would definitely like to play more Talos Principle puzzles. That sounds... there are so many games to play. I've not gotten around to doing mods for most of them. That's not gonna fly. I wonder what's down there. I don't know who to trust. I'm afraid to go on. Didymus 22, the 99.1.0093. The last land before I have conquered this world. Samurai B13.1.0173. I assume you're counting the secret islands. Always right, B7.2.0946. I hate you. Samurai B13.1.0973. Oh my gosh, more! More! More bad replicas of Forgotten Worlds. Can't wait. Dog, V55.1.7934N. Oh. There must be something deeper, something more profound than what I am, something greater. I must tear at it, shred this fake world to find the truth, to find myself. Gibberish took the words right out of my mouth. Skid Row, V99.2.000N. We've made it this far. You only need the red ones to climb the tower, and these are the last of them. Sheep, V69.1.6040. The reds are a lie! Green is the color of eternal life! Holier than thou, V47.7.0236F. Now that one always confused me, because... I mean, I understand not climbing the tower,
you have come far, my child, succeeding where so many before you failed. You have walked through a land of ruins and a land of death. Now the land of faith lies before you. And know that as you have shown faith in me, so do I have faith in you.
But you can't even get Elohim's ending without getting all the red sigils, so...
You stand before the gates of eternity. When all your trials have been overcome, the gates will open, and you will be granted life everlasting.
Skydad. What's the, it's escaping me. What's the name of the guy who does Elohim's voice? I tried the Sam voice pack, and I actually had to turn it off like after an hour. I missed Elohim too much. First to ascend, Hebus V9.1.6543. Everyone ascends or gets reset eventually. What's the big deal? Jim 75.1.1092. Timothy Watson, thank you. Life eternal in the designer's paradise? Follower V98.1.265445N. Alright, so what I want to do while I still have my wits about me and I'm not falling asleep. Now that I have access to the axe, I already have this one, don't I? Yeah. I want to break all the boards down so that I don't have to do repeat trips down here. And actually, I've added one thing to my task list in front of the Messenger Islands. I'm gonna get the overworld star that you can get with the connectors out of the first floor of the tower, but you also have to have the axe to open up the blue source. I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna go to the World A Messenger World. Try and solve it. I don't know if I've got the juice for that many sigil puzzles back to back, but I'll try to solve it. But the main thing I want to do is just hear the lovely Miss Erin's voice in my personal favorite snippet before I go tonight. Wait. So let's drop this. Let's break open World B. Let's save myself the hassle later. Because once you break them, they stay broken. You don't have to go back and get the axe again. Who was it? I think it was you. I'm gonna call you Dr. Freeman since that's what Erin's been calling you. You said I had the names of the puzzles memorized, and that's like the marker of a superfan, apparently. So I assume you've played Gehenna as well. I have, I still occasionally shudder when I think of Admin's world in Gehenna. In particular, Small Space Big Solution. The first time I played through Road to Gehenna, I was stuck inside that tiny little cage for like 2.5 hours trying to solve that puzzle. It was rough. Alright. World A is our last stop, so let's run up to the first floor. We can grab those two connectors. Yeah, Small Space Big Solution and the second star in Crater from Gehenna. Really break my brain. And the base game, none of them are nearly as hard as the ones in Gehenna. I think the only puzzle in the base game that is really, really, really hard to me is Prison Break. No, not Prison Break. I'm sorry, no. What am I saying? Prison Break's fun, but it's not that hard. The 5th floor of the tower, the top floor of the tower is genuinely difficult. But so yeah, so there's just an open path. You can carry these connectors straight out without messing with anything. We will need both, so let's go grab both. Cube Driver's fun. I really like just with the aesthetics and the feel of it, I really like Haircut in Gehenna too. That's one of my favorites. It's a very satisfying solution. There are a lot of I keep saying that. There are a very high number of very satisfying solutions in this game, but yeah, World C is my favorite world, but that's mostly to do with because the story has advanced more. By the time you get to World C, I think the logs and the documents and even the conversations with Milton, they just get a lot more emotional and heavier, which I really like about World C. I also like the music in World C is my favorite of all 3 worlds. It's hard for me to pinpoint exactly why. I just find it very soothing and it makes me happy. But yeah, World C is my favorite for those reasons. That and Sam's QR code. Finding Sam's QR code, like in the very back of, I think it's C5, C6, version 1, seriously unfit for purpose. Made me laugh so hard. Because the game had gotten really somber by that point. That little jolt of humor was really refreshing. Ooh. Alrighty. Now I'm only 90% certain this is in fact my favorite. I have already decided I'm too sleepy to solve the blue sigil puzzles, but I do want to collect this audio log. Sure. If you're not talking about this, which I've already done. Yeah, I did that in my first stream because I already knew about it. Oh no!
Those who have discovered the holiest mysteries of my garden may come to serve me as blessed messengers.
I thought I had
You walk now
skipped his
in
dialogue.
their abode. Be respectful, for their service is born from the love that transcends death. And their love is for you also.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like I'm the only Twitch game in town for Talos Principle. None of my friends are online either, so we probably won't bother with a raid tonight, but let's track down the log I like. No, I won't see myself. I'm not on my own friends list.
If you're looking through the
This is it.
archive,
This is my favorite.
you may find people from my time claiming that civilization doesn't really matter, that we'd be better off dead. We have a lot of cynics like that. I hope they seem as absurd to you as they do to me. I hope you can find something in all those files, a song, a book, a movie, maybe a game, just something that you'll love, that makes you realize how much poorer the universe would have been without it. I really hope so, because a lot of people made a lot of sacrifices to preserve it all.
That's my personal favorite, just because of the delivery is spectacular and the message is really great too. I like, I really like that. I really like the one on floor 2 of the tower, the one about her best friend dying, and I like the last one too, where she talks about where she's about to die herself. Those are all really good. All right. Well, I certainly did not expect Alexandra Drennan to enter the chat tonight. That was a real highlight for me, not just for tonight, of being on Twitch ever. So thank you for stopping by, Erin. Thank you for the follow. I really, really appreciate it. I am planning to be back tomorrow night. I don't know exactly how it's going to go. I've got to go over to my ex's place and pick up some stuff that shipped there, because I forgot to change my Amazon address. So, but I should be back on tomorrow night, and hopefully a little earlier too, because work shouldn't run late again. So, that's the plan. We all know what happens to plans, but the plan is to be back on tomorrow night. Thank you all so much. Dr. Freeman, River of Hearth, Erin, the new people, thank you so much. Particularly Erin, thank you again for stopping by, for your wonderful work on Talos and all the other games. And I will be back tomorrow night, hoping to see most or all of you again. Have a great evening.